But can anybody recognize this scene here? Chinatown, Singapore. Okay. Somebody sent me this. I thought it's a rather nice picture, so I decided to put it up. There is something about the Chinese dragon. You know, Western dragons breathe fire, right? This dragon breathes what? Clouds. You see, all that's clouds. Okay. So Chinese dragon breathes clouds. Okay. Western dragon breathes fire. So what do you prefer, fire or clouds? Clouds, definitely, right? Okay. Well, today is Chinese New Year. We enter the year of the dragon. And this is according to the Chinese zodiac. Now, it is the fifth creature in the Chinese zodiac, and it is the only one that is not a real animal. All the others are real animals, right? So this is the only one that is not a real animal. So we're going to look at the dragon in the Chinese zodiac. Now, first of all, anybody here born in the year of the dragon? One, two, wow, a few of you. Ah, okay, very nice. Okay, any one of you know somebody who is born in the year of the dragon? Okay, wow, so many. Okay, all right. So you know all the dates are given there. My father was born in 1928, so he's born in the year of the dragon. Okay, I mean, if he were alive today, he's gone. So yeah. Okay, well, the dragon is considered the most auspicious of all the years and the best year to be born. In fact, every time there's a dragon year, there's an uptick in babies born on that year. Then the year before that, the year after that become less. So people either bring forward their babies or push back their babies to be that they want to have. Okay, so not a very good thing. In fact, they say that there are more baby deaths in the year of the dragon than any other year, because suddenly the healthcare system is stressed, beyond the normal number of babies that they have to take care of. Okay, so well, generally it is supposed to be good, but does it also mean it's supposed to be a good year also? Well, not necessarily, because in the Chinese concept, the zodiac is good for the individual, the one who is born on that year. It doesn't mean that the dragon year will be a good year, for the nation or for the country or for the world. Now, in the Chinese zodiac, there are 5 elements. Okay, there's wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And so this dragon is supposed to be what dragon? Wood dragon. Okay, I don't know what that means, but all I know is that it's a wood dragon. So dragon is supposed to be generally good. Then the different elements, they go on a cycle. It's supposed to qualify, further qualify what that dragon element is. Okay. Now, it is, of course, very strange to believe that if you are born in a certain year, you become a certain thing, that you suddenly become very good. Okay. There are all kinds of taboos and auspicious things that are associated with any animal, even the dragon. So, for example, you all know dragons not supposed to marry what? No. Cannot marry dog. Yeah. I don't know why, but that's what I'm told. Okay, so that's what they say. And a few others, okay, two others, but I think they say the worst match is dog. And sometimes these things play in our mind. Because you think I'm not supposed to marry a dog, you fall in love with a dog, so to speak. Huh? So somebody in a dog here. And then you find that, when things go wrong, you begin to say, well, maybe it's because, we're not compatible, And all these things begin to play in our mind. My grandmother was born in the year of the tiger. And my grandfather was born in the year, and my grandfather who passed away when my father was very young, he was born in the year of the pig. So tigers eat pigs. Okay, so that's not compatible. In order to get married off, my grandmother lied and said that she was born in the year of the rabbit. Okay, 1 year younger. And soon after they got married, when my father was born, my grandfather, apparently the facts are not so clear, but had something like a perforated appendix, and then he was operated upon without anesthesia, because my great-grandfather hated this opium thingy. It was way back, okay? And so he went to shock and then he died. Okay. And my grandmother, for the longest time, insisted that she was born in the year of the rabbit. But later, older in her life, she accepted that she was born in the year of the tiger. Because that was the thing that was playing on her mind, that she actually caused her husband to die. Okay. And there was that perpetual guilt in her. And so when I was born, I'm born in the year of the pig. And then my younger sister is born in the year of the tiger, 3 years younger. Okay. So when that happens, my grandmother said, you have to separate the two kids because the spirit of this girl will kill this boy, and I'm the only son in the family. So it's going to kill this boy. So you have to separate the family. My mother is a Christian, and so my mother says, no such thing, I'm not going to separate my kids because of your superstition. And then she saw that, I didn't die. So I guess it's okay after all. All right. So, and some of these things begin to play on our minds, and I think it is very important not to become caught up in all these things. So this is why I don't believe in the Chinese zodiac. And also, my father, born in the year of the dragon, he wasn't particularly prosperous, or they're supposed to be extra intelligent, extra prosperous, extra everything. I mean, if that were the case, right, then everybody born in the year of the dragon would be very good. Then all the other years would be very bad. Life doesn't work this way. Okay. So if you fear it and look for it, you actually make it happen. So don't fear it, don't look for it. If you ignore it, it will ignore you. Okay, so I think you just carry on your life without the all these apprehensions. Okay. Now, the dragon in the Chinese zodiac is related to, but is distinct from the dragon in Chinese mythology. Okay. So there are actually two different dragons. There's a dragon in the zodiac and there's a dragon in mythology, and we'll talk about that presently. But first, let us look at the dragon in the Western culture. Okay. The Western in the culture flies with wings, right? The Chinese dragon got wings or not? No wings, but still can fly, right? So this one got wings, the Chinese dragon no wings. This is fire breathing. That one is cloud breathing, right? This one is fierce and destructive. The Chinese dragon is not fierce and destructive, okay? It is at war against humans, and so humans are supposed to kill it. The heroes are the ones who slay the dragon, right? The dragon slayers, okay, in Western mythology. So, so the concept of the Western dragon is just different from, the concept of the Chinese dragon in Chinese mythology. It is also different from that of the Bible. Surprisingly, you might think that the Western dragon derived its roots from the Bible. Actually, it did not. Okay, let me just point out to you, and I don't go too far into this because it will take too much time. But first of all, the word dragon in the Old Testament came from the Hebrew word tanin, and it is used 25 times. And out of that 25 times, only 4 times possibly refer to the word dragon. Okay. Some translations don't even translate as dragon, they translate as a sea monster. So it is not a major concept in the Old Testament. Because this so-called dragon doesn't have a name of its own. It shares the same name with the jackal, with large sea creatures like the whales. So the KJV at sometimes would translate it as a whale. It shares the same word as snake or serpent. And then it is possibly used to refer to the dragon only 4 times. So it is not a major concept at all in the Old Testament. Okay. Now, the 4 times that it could possibly refer to the dragon is first found in Isaiah 27 verse 1. It talks about that the Lord in that day the Lord with his hard and great and strong sword will punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent. Leviathan, the twisting serpent. He will slay the dragon that is in the sea. So the NIV calls it monster in the sea, and the NLT calls it dragon in the sea. So even then, it's not always translated dragon. It is basically used figuratively in poetry. It is a mythological creature from the sea. Fishermen always have tales of sea creatures, right? Even until today. So there are all these sea creatures, and so it doesn't mean that the biblical writers believe in it. It's using this imagery. And what is it referring to? Well, this probably refers to the coming destruction of Babylon. So people believe that these 3 so-called creatures, the Leviathan, the 2 different types of Leviathan, and the dragon or the Tanin, or a creature from the sea, all refer to probably Babylon. Okay. And then in Isaiah 51, the second occurrence, it talks about, or was it not you who cut Rahab, the sea monster, in pieces, who pierced the dragon? So it's probably a synonymous parallelism. Rahab in Hebrew or Rahab in English is cut in pieces, and it is the same as the Tanin or the dragon. Okay, again, a sea monster. In Jeremiah 51, it talks about he has made me a mighty vessel. He has swallowed me up like a monster, a Tanin. Okay, and so again, it's figurative use. This one probably refers to King Nebuchadnezzar. If you read the context, you'll find that probably referring to King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. And then in Ezekiel 29, verse 3, speak and say, thus says the Lord, behold, I'm against you, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lies in the midst of his streams, that says, my Nile is my own, I made it for myself. So this is depicted as a dragon that lies in the river Nile. So it's either the sea or the river Nile, and in this case, it refers to Egypt. Okay, so how is the dragon depicted in the Old Testament? First of all, it has no wings and it does not fly. Okay, so again, quite different. It is associated with water. There's no fire-breathing dragon. Okay? Sometimes not something that people can kill. It is a metaphorical reference to something else. It's also used figuratively for political leaders who attack God's people. Okay, so he's saying that even these people might be so fearsome like the dragon, yet the Lord will slay these dragons. So the conclusion is this: the Western dragon is actually different from the biblical dragon, right? So it is again quite different. The biblical dragon is the creature of the sea and of the river. Now, this word is also used in the New Testament. It is used in the Greek 13 times, and it is used only in Revelation and nowhere else. So Revelation is apocalyptic, meaning that it uses fantastical images. It talks about the lamb on the throne, the lamb that wears a crown, all kinds of strange images. Okay, so don't get carried away by this one image of the dragon and say that this means this or that, because that is just typical of apocalyptic literature. And so what does it say? Well, it says here, two passages. I will just pick out these two because these passages identify and tell us exactly what it is supposed to represent. Revelation 12:9 says, and the great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. And Revelation 22 is the same thing. So there are basically four identifications. It's called the ancient serpent, meaning that the one in the Garden of Eden that tempted Adam and Eve, the ancient serpent. He's also called the devil, meaning he's the devil himself. And he's also called Satan. The word Satan actually is a noun that became a proper noun. The word Satan means the accuser. If you can recall, I mentioned it before, that the word Satan actually means the accuser. He's the one who accuses us of all our faults. And Jesus is our advocate. He's the one who defends us, and who defends us against these accusations. And he's the deceiver of the whole world. So what is the picture of the dragon that is given to us in Revelation? Well, first of all, he's red in color. Okay, and Chinese dragon, not that golden dragon, white dragon, blue dragon, all kinds of different colors. It has 7 heads. It has 10 horns with possibly 7 or 10 crowns. It's not associated with fire. It's only incidentally associated with water. We are told in that picture that out of this enormous dragon, his mouth spewed off a stream of a river, trying to sweep away the Savior. So trying to kill Jesus, in other words. So that's only an incidental reference to water. It is associated with Rome, which is also called the New Babylon. So later on, you'll find that it's also referring to there's this harlot, the harlot who is dressed in scarlet, who sits on the beast, and the beast is associated with the dragon. So they're kind of all lumped in together. And then we are told that it refers to Rome because it is the city that sits on the 7 hills. So that's definitely Rome. Okay. So it is not the Western dragon. There are some similarities with Tanin of the Old Testament. It's a figurative reference. Okay, it is infrequent in the Old Testament and in the New. Okay, so we need not get too carried away with the concept of the dragon in the Bible. Now comes the fun part. The dragon in Chinese mythology. What is the depiction of the Chinese dragon? Well, it has 4 legs. Okay, it has claws. The imperial dragon has how many claws? 5. The normal dragon 4 claws only. So okay, can it fly? Yes, but no wings, right? It has long whiskers, correct? You notice these long whiskers of this dragon. It is scaly. Okay, unlike the Western dragon that might be leathery, this one is scaly. It has scales, okay, on its body. Sometimes it is said to hold a pearl in the mouth, but that's not always. It is a happy creature. It is not destructive. It's not meant to be destroyed. In Chinese mythology, nobody goes out to kill the dragon, right? So, and the dragon doesn't go around killing people. Okay, so it is a very happy existence. Okay, so now what is the mythological description of the Chinese dragon? Okay, so the Chinese dragon is made out of 9 animals. Do you all know that? You all didn't know that. Okay, try to identify. Okay, it has the head of a what? Make a guess. Not lion. No. Not cow. It has the head of a camel. Okay. Number 2, supposed to maybe the artist not very good. Number 2, it has antlers of a deer. Correct. Okay. Number 3, it has eyes of big googly eyes. Right. The dragon has got big. Supposed to be the eyes of a hare. Okay. Possibly eyes of a demon. Okay, but sometimes the eyes can look quite fierce on a dragon. Okay, and it has the ears of a. Don't even notice what ears. So it has the ears of a bull. Okay, it has the neck of a iguana. It has the belly of a frog. It has the scales of a carp. Yes. It has the paws of a tiger. And it has claws of an eagle. Okay. So it is interesting that even though you look at the dragon and it is kind of long like that, it was never described as a snake or a serpent. You notice all these 9 animals totally unassociated with the serpentine image, even though it's supposed to move in a serpentine manner, but in Chinese mythology, they never call it a snake. Okay. In fact, they say the belly of a frog. I don't know how it's the belly of a frog, but that's what they say it is. Okay. And even though it has very long, prominent whiskers, it doesn't tell us the whiskers of a what. Okay. It just tells they just draw it with these 2 whiskers, and we're not told what these whiskers are. Okay. It's not associated with fire, but with cloud and water. It is friendly and good, not an enemy of the people. It is a helper of the people. Now, there are different types of dragon in Chinese mythology. How many types of dragons are there? 4, 5? Anyone? Okay, I tell you. There are 9 different types of dragons. Okay. So there are 9 different types of dragons. And so things like the Tianlong, the Shenlong, the and the Dilong, the whatever. So so all the different dragons. Okay, there are 9 different types. Okay, and the dragon has how many sons? 9 sons, exactly right. Okay, all the 9 exactly. So the dragon is associated with the number 9. Why 9? Probably that's the maximum before it reaches 10, right? So everything is 9. In fact, the sons of the dragon, there are 2 tables, and both tables say there are 9 sons, but they name different sons. Okay? Maybe got mistress, so different sons. No, not really. But when you put these 9 sons together, there are actually 12 sons in all. Okay, but they only say as 9. Okay, and so this is associated with the number 9. Okay, and I believe that it is supposed to express some sense of fullness, right? Like maximum just before it reaches 10. Okay, Now, it is also used for various purposes, okay? It is used for imperial images. You know, the emperor always has this dragon image, right? It is used to ward off the evil of the summer solstice. That one maybe some of you don't know. 端午节, yeah. Okay, 端午节, the fifth month is supposed to be a very unlucky month. And the fifth day of the fifth month is the most unlucky day in the whole calendar. And that's 端午节. Okay. And so to ward off that evil, you get a dragon boat race. Okay. And that's why you have this dragon boat race. The original tradition supposed to be that, you know, somebody drowned, right? And then they row the boat as quickly as they can to the center of the river and throw in all the dumplings so that the fish wouldn't eat the body. Okay. But then it's also turned into something auspicious so that, you know, it will ward off evil. And by you ward off evil by using the dragon. Okay. So the dragon is good, okay, in Chinese mythology. It is also used to refer to dinosaurs, right? You all know that 恐龙, the terror dragon. Okay, so that's also used to refer to the dragon. It's also used in the myth of the dragon gate. Have you all seen that? You know, my grandmother was an idolater, and she had this image with a gate, and then there are these fish, this carp, you know, swimming around the gate. Have you all seen that image before? No? Well, in Chinese mythology, there are these carps that swim towards the dragon gate, and it's a perilous journey. It's very hard to get there. But if the carp reaches the dragon gate, the carp becomes a dragon. Okay. And so this is the story or the myth about perseverance, you know, about hope, about working hard, about going and doing things that are difficult. It represents risk and reward and success through perseverance. And then in Chinese martial arts, the most powerful move is called the long. You know, whatever it is, you know, whatever that most powerful move is the dragon move. Okay, it's supposed to be the killer move. Okay, so that's how it is associated with great power. Okay, so in summary, then we say this. All right, it's associated a lot because Chinese dragon very fanciful. Actually, it's more than this, but we cannot go on forever. So associated with the number 9. As a myth, it can be, you all can add on to it, but no matter how they add on to it, the number 9 must stay, okay? You can have a different list of 9s, but it must always be 9. It is used regularly with the emperor. It is used to ward off evil. It is a benevolent power. It is associated with rain and water, bringer of floods, and also breather of clouds. And because he's the bringer of floods, you also pray to the dragon so that there will be no floods. Okay. It's also associated with nobility, with loyalty, with playfulness. It's a playful dragon. That's why, you know, they have all these dragons playing around, trying to catch the ball and all these things. With power, with strength, with good fortune, with good health, and with the harvest. Okay. So then, you know, it is not associated to the Western dragon. Is not associated with the dragon of the Old Testament or the dragon of the New Testament. Okay. So then these are all independent traditions because this is a mythological creature, right? If you have a real creature like a tiger, everybody's description of the tiger will be the same. But because it's a mythological creature, you can put anything you want into it. And the Chinese love it so much, so they have lots and lots of things, and everything is called dragon, something or other. Okay, like even when people get married, it's called dragon and phoenix, right? The male and female symbol. You know, so the Chinese just love the dragon, and it's a happy, playful creature that brings prosperity. Okay, now is there any danger to Christians when we talk about these things? Okay, well. I think, first of all, we must know that dragons are worshipped in Chinese mythology as the dragon god, as a Shen Long. Okay, so sometimes it is worshipped. It's not always worshipped, right? Most times when you talk about the dragon, you don't find people worshipping the dragon. But there are some people who worship the dragon. Okay, then there's a superstitious dependence for the good things in life rather than on God. So it is easy for people to say, if I satisfy this set of conditions, I will get the good life, and rather than to depend on God. Also, there is a conformity into the system of idolatry and manipulating the forces of nature. So this can lead to things like shamanism and idolatry. There's also a perversion of biblical values in some ways because the Chinese value always focus on money. It doesn't matter which animal, this animal or how to get money when you're born in this year. If you're born in that animal, how to get money in this year. Every Chinese New Year, there's this new phrase in Singapore, what ah, everybody, what ah, it's just prosper. And so that's the fixation of the Chinese people. Do we avoid it in art? Well, maybe not. I haven't decided yet. So, okay. So basically, I'd like to just conclude with these 4 points. Okay. Number one, the Chinese dragon is an animation of desirable good personal qualities and of desirable life circumstances. So in that sense, they are good qualities. They are not bad qualities that it is trying to depict. It's an animation of it. Number two, the Christian response to imagery is caution towards idolatry. So as long as it doesn't become idolatrous, it's not really an issue, okay, with it. Number three, the values that are represented in the Chinese dragon agree with many Christian values. We talk about nobility, we talk about loyalty, we talk about, productivity and all that. So all these things are perfectly good. There is always a but, okay? And the but is this, all right? The dominant popular narrative in Christian culture is about money, okay? Traditional religion is about the manipulation of the spiritual world by what we do. That is actually what religion is. If you look at all of Chinese religion, right? This kitchen god will report to the emperor, and so you must, bribe the kitchen god and all that. So all these things about manipulating the spiritual forces so that things are favorable towards you. Okay? In our modern day terms, this has taken on a modern concept. And sad to say, sometimes Christians also get into this. It talks about positive talk and positive feelings and the laws of attraction. Have you heard about the laws of attraction? No. In management and some of these places, they say you must say good things, do good things, and then you have these laws of attraction, and then good things will come to you. Okay. So you don't say anything bad. So there's a superstition against that. So in a certain way, the dragon is the context in which these forces are somewhat manipulated. Okay? Now, so this is today represented by the harnessing of cosmic energy. So it's just like Star Wars, right? The good guys also use the force. The bad guys also use the force, right? It's a question of who uses the force better, but the force is neutral. And so that is the concept that is in Chinese thinking of the world, and also many times in the modern concept. Okay. Now, all the animals in the zodiac are utilized for this, but the greatest opportunity comes with the dragon child. So the child that is born in the year of the dragon is supposed to be, has the greatest potential. So the greatest danger to the Christian is an unconscious slide into the same value system and belief, of money, of manipulating nature, of adopting this same way of thinking. Not so much, I don't think we are going to find a Christian suddenly, taking joss sticks and bowing down and praying to the dragon. That is not the real risk, okay? The real risk comes in our adopting the same kind of mentality, that we want to harness the cosmic forces so that we will prosper. You know who fell into that trap? The biggest church in the world. And Cho Yong-gi last time, the biggest church in the world. He talks about the fourth dimension. That there is this dimension that you can tap into, that you get all the blessings and successes of the world. And this is exactly the same concept and the same idea. Okay, so therein lies the danger, not so much in the dragon itself or the animation of these virtues or values. Okay, so this is what I would like to share with you today about the dragon in Chinese culture and also for our Christian faith. Nothing to be sort of too reactive towards, but just to be aware that the dangers lie not just with the dragon image alone, but it is with all the other zodiac animals as well. It's the manipulation of nature through certain rites, and then you sort of prosper because you do things the right way. Okay, let us pray. Our gracious God, we thank you for your word, and we also thank you for the truths in your word that lead us in the right path. Lord, teach us to enjoy and to appreciate the culture that we grew up in, but at the same time not be sucked into the materialism that it urges on towards. In Jesus' name, amen.
We hope you have been blessed by Pastor Peter's sermon. We'd love to have you visit us at thewell.sg. Have a wonderful week.